going to preface this with saying that I have been to the tell about a zillion times, and I've never had the courage to put my name in the hat until last month when I was like really determined to tell. Like I had written out exactly what I wanted to say because I'm that type A, and I was like, I'm going to fucking tell. And then my name didn't get drawn, and I wanted to flip a goddamn table. But now I'm actually happier because this is going to be slightly more spontaneous and probably a little bit more real than my like 6-minute exact kid speech that I had before. So I know that kid. This story starts, it's not a super happy story, so sorry about that in advance. In January of 2015, my mom was diagnosed with ALS. And for those of you who aren't super familiar with what that is, let me school you. It's a progressive neurodegenerative disease, which means that the neurons in someone with ALS essentially deteriorate and eventually die, which results in paralysis. So that not only affects people's ability to do like super everyday things like dress themselves and walk and drive a car, but eventually affects more important things in your life, like the ability to speak and eat and eventually breathe, which is important. The average life expectancy after diagnosis is about 2 to 5 years. There's no known cause for the disease. There's one extremely ineffective and expensive drug, and there is no known cure. So it's definitely a roll with it kind of disease. You get this diagnosis and you don't necessarily know what's coming. Everyone progresses the disease in a different way. A lot of people, it starts in their extremities and they do things like fall or drop things or things like that, but some other people develop it sort of in an, I don't know the anatomy terms because I'm not a science kid, but from the middle and go out. And that's kind of how my mom developed the disease. So about a month after she was diagnosed, she actually ended up in respiratory failure and ended up going to the ER in the hospital. And that doesn't usually happen so fast. So that was kind of a roll with it moment. She ended up getting a tracheostomy and a feeding tube, which isn't necessarily uncommon for people with the disease, but not really so fast. So ALS is one of those things where she's had it for a little over 2 years, and every time we go into the doctor, it's kind of a new thing, and it's not really a like, how can we help you? How can we make this better? It's how can we make you more comfortable while you're kind of living out the rest of your life with this disease. And I think what makes this so heartbreaking, I guess, is actually going to our support group, which meets every month, and to have new people who are diagnosed come in and they have so many questions. And the hard part is there are never any answers. There are only resources. They always want to know what's going to happen, how fast is this going to happen, what am I going to need? And we can tell you what you might need and where you might get it, but we don't know what's going to happen and we don't know when. Every day is a new challenge. Every day is a new question. Every day is a new struggle sometimes. But I think the most important thing to remember out of all of this is that every day is a blessing.